Dear students, today we are starting a new chapter, lesson 9, The North Ship, a poem written by Philip Larkin. So open your books at page 69 and we will start the poem. Philip Arthur Larkin. There is an introduction about the poet at page 69. Look at your books. Philip Arthur Larkin was born in 1922 and he died in 1985. Was a renowned English poet and novelist. Renowned. Renowned means famous. He was a poet and novelist. Novelist means one who writes novels. A poet writes poems. That means he wrote both poems and novels. His first book of poetry was The North Ship. He wrote some poems and the collection of poems was known as The North Ship. তার কবিতা সংগ্রহের নাম The North Ship, followed by two novels, Jill and A Girl in Winter. He also wrote two novels. What were the names of these two novels? The names of these two novels were Jill and A Girl in Winter. He came to prominence in 1955 with the publication of his second collection of poems, The Less Deceived, followed by The Whitsun Weddings and High Windows. He came to prominence. Prominence here means fame, ख्याति. He came to prominence means he became famous. When did he become famous? He became famous after writing a collection of poems called The Less Deceived. His first collection of poems was The North Ship. His second collection of poems was The Less Deceived, and the third collection of poems, The Whitsun Weddings, and the fourth collection of poems was High Windows. These collection of poems made him famous. He was offered the position of Poet Laureate in 1984, but he declined it. Poet Laureate, that means the poet of the court, Raj Kavi. He was given this honor by the Queen of England, but he declined it. To decline means not to accept, grohon na kora. Philip Larkin did not accept the position of Poet Laureate. That means he did not hanker after rewards and prizes. পুরস্কার বা অন্য কিছুর আশায় তিনি লিখতেন না. He wrote poems because he loved to write poems and he did not want the honor of Poet Laureate. This poem, The North Ship, is a metaphorical poem. It is a metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor is a poem that has two meanings, the outer meaning and the inner meaning. This poem has an outer meaning. This poem also has an inner meaning. So we have to understand both the meanings of the poem, both the outer meaning and the inner meaning. So let us start the poem. I saw three ships go sailing by over the sea, the lifting sea, and the wind rose in the morning sky. How many ships did the poet see? The poet saw three ships. The ships were sailing by. That means to sail by. That means they were moving along the sea. তারা সমুদ্রের ওপর দিয়ে ভেসে যাচ্ছে. Over the sea, the lifting sea. Lifting sea means the sea where there are waves. যেখানে ঢেউ আছে. It is called the lifting sea. And the wind rose in the morning sky. Rose is the past form of rise. The wind rose. That means a strong wind began to blow. Early in the morning, a strong wind was blowing, and the poet saw that three ships were sailing along the sea. And one was rigged for a long journey. Here, the poet describes the three ships. he gives the description of the first ship. তিনি প্রথম জাহাজের বর্ণনা দিচ্ছেন। Before that he says that out of the three ships, এই তিনটে জাহাজের মধ্যে one ship was rigged for a long journey. Rigged here means well equipped, উপযুক্ত সাজ সরঞ্জাম যুক্ত। There were three ships, but all the ships were not equipped for a journey. All the ships were not fit for a long voyage. Only one ship was fit for a long voyage. একটাই জাহাজ লম্বা সমুদ্র যাত্রার জন্য তৈরি ছিল। Let us find out which ship was rigged for the long journey. Then the poet gives the description of the first ship. The first ship turned towards the west. You have to remember the directions that the ships took. Which direction did the first ship take? The first ship took the west direction, a western direction. It moves towards the west. পশ্চিম দিকে গেল। Over the sea, the running sea. The first ship was moving along the running sea. Running sea means having a very strong current, যার স্রোত প্রবল. That is called the running sea. So the first ship sailed over the running sea, and by the wind was all possessed. It was possessed by a strong wind. It was possessed by a strong wind means it was helped by a strong wind. A strong wind helped the first ship. A strong wind helped the first ship and carried to a rich country. Where did the first ship reach? The first ship reached a rich country. And what helped the first ship to reach a rich country? একটা সমৃদ্ধ দেশে পৌঁছতে তাকে কে সাহায্য করলো? A strong wind helped the first ship to reach the prosperous, the rich country. So this is the description of the first ship. The first ship was lucky. Why was the first ship lucky? Because the first ship turned towards the west, it moved along the running sea, and a strong wind, a favorable wind, helped the first ship to reach an ideal destination. একটা অনুকূল বাতাস এই জাহাজকে সাহায্য করলো, প্রথম জাহাজকে সাহায্য করলো একটা সমৃদ্ধ দেশে গিয়ে পৌঁছতে। That means the first ship was lucky. The lucky first ship was helped by a strong wind to reach a rich country. The second turned towards the east. In which direction did the second ship move? The second ship moved towards the east direction. Over the sea, the quaking sea. What is meant by the term quake? To quake means to tremble, কেঁপে ওঠা. The quaking sea means the trembling sea. The sea was trembling. That means there were very big waves in the sea. বড় বড় ঢেউ আছে. The second ship moved over the trembling sea. And why was the sea trembling? And the wind hunted it like a beast to anchor in captivity. The second ship was hunted by a wind. To hunt means to kill something. কিছুকে শিকার করা, বলা হয় to hunt. A hunter hunts animals. Here the second ship was hunted. The second ship was hunted by what? The second ship was hunted by a storm, a strong wind. একটা জোরালো বাতাস hunted the second ship. It was hunted like a beast. Beast means animal. Just as an animal is hunted by a hunter, the second ship was hunted by a strong wind. That means the second ship was damaged by the strong wind. To anchor in captivity. Captivity means imprisonment. বন্দি দশা. Anchor Anchor is a device which helps a ship to be kept in position. যা জাহাজকে তার জায়গায় ধরে রাখে তাকেই বলা হয় anchor বা নোঙর. Anchor is also a verb. To anchor means to cast anchor, নোঙর ফেলা. The second ship was forced to cast anchor, নোঙর ফেলতে বাধ্য হলো, and it was in captivity, it was in imprisonment, সেটা বন্দি দশায় রইল, because the second ship could not move. That means the second ship was not so lucky as the first ship. Aided or helped by a strong wind, the first ship reached a rich and prosperous country, but the second ship was not so lucky. The second ship could not reach an ideal destination. Rather, the second ship was damaged by a strong wind. Just as a hunter hunts wild beasts, the second ship was hunted by a strong wind, and it had to cast anchor, and it was in imprisonment. It could not move. It was stranded in the sea. Stranded মানে আটকে পড়া. It was stranded in the sea. So our lesson is up to this point. Study up to this point. We will finish the poem in our next class. Thank you.